who do you think you are anyways? Who do you think you are? I want to know. That's an important question. And you're like thinking, oh my gosh, she's coming on here with such attitude. Listen, who do you think you are? These are important words because who we think you are determines the direction of our life. Yeah, it's true. Who do you, think that you are? How come I have a drawer open here? What our self-image contains is a driving force it's our driving force out into the world around us. Now, listen, you might say, well, what about God? I mean, like, he's ultimately in charge. Yes and no. Okay. Yes and no. Yes, he's God. He's in charge. Of course he is. But you have a will, and I have a will, and our wills determine how high we fly, right? Attitude determines the altitude in life. So even with these grandiose plans for us that God has for our lives to affect multitudes of people and to change lives, if inside our attitude of heart is, I'm not good enough, or our attitude of heart is, I just don't think I can do it, or that's for them, not for me. I'm not important enough. I'm the wrong gender. I got the wrong color hair, whatever. Listen, this will actually impede and stop you from moving forward. So when I ask you today, who do you think you are? Or who do you think you are? And I seem like I kind of have attitude with it. I do. But it's not the attitude of like, who are you? I'm asking you, who are you? You see, our self-image releases a feeling and emotion into the rest of our body. And then that emotion release creates an action. And that action creates an outcome, a result. So if the result I'm seeing in an area of my life is not satisfactory to me, or if somewhere inside of me, I just know that there's more for me. There's more for me. I need to go back and adjust that self-image so that it produces the right feeling, so that it produces the right actions that I take, so that the results that come forth are the ones that are loosed from heaven into your life. Listen to me. How do I change that self-image? It's actually pretty simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's simple. First, I'm going to give you a scripture. It says that faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing the word. That's what it says. It's true. Now, if faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing, then I suppose faith in anything can come by hearing it and hearing it and hearing it. Now, if the faith that you're hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing is backing and supporting the notion of you not being good enough, or adding leverage to that poor self-image that you have that has kept you in the results box that you've had thus far in life, more of the same does not bring change, right? Then it's time to adjust what we're hearing and what we're saying. And it's not enough to just say, oh, I'm awesome, right? It's not enough to just say, God has plans for me. There comes a place where you have to believe that. And you know how that happens? The same way school happens, education happens. 2 + 2 is 4. Maybe when you were little, you didn't know that right away, but you heard it enough times and you memorized your multiplication tables or your addition tables or whatever. And eventually you believed it. Nobody can tell you that 2 + 2 was, they couldn't tell you it wasn't 4. Now, one of my kids, when they were little, insisted that 1 + 1 was 11. Yes, come on. 1 and 1 next to each other is 11. It took a while to convince them that it wasn't 11, but you know what? I can guarantee if you ask them now, they'll say, no, I know it's not 11. I know it's 2. Listen, repetition is a teacher. And so we have to come back to the basics here. What are you putting in your motor, your brain, your heart? What is going in? Because you've heard the statement, what is going in is going to come out, right? Garbage in, garbage out, whatever, however you want to look at that. So if we want to change our self-image so that we see ourselves as that author that we want to be, that we see ourselves in that healthy relationship we want to be in, that we see ourselves fulfilling that call of God on our life, that we see ourselves and losing that 10 pounds, dropping that 15 pounds. We see ourselves on that vacation we so badly want to take with our family. Whatever it is, paying off that credit card, paying off that house note, whatever it is, you're going to have to start to change the way you think about it, because that creates a self-image in you, that creates a feeling in you, that creates an action that your body does, because your body's along for the ride, I always say. And that then creates a result. Now, I know there's some things that happen out there that are outside of our control. I'm not trying to say we can control all that. But there's a huge part of our actual fulfilling what we were put on this earth to do that comes back to that responsibility lying solely on you and me, and accepting it, making the adjustments in our thought realm so that our image is increased and we see ourselves the way God sees us. We see ourselves as well able and willing to do what it is that we're supposed to do, what that big C-type goal is that you want to do, that gargantuan thing. And we begin to literally call things that be not as though they were. It means we actually begin to see it within our heart and our head as if it already is. And we begin to live out of that place. Mm-hmm. And then God does the impossible. I always say we do the possible. My husband actually said that first, but we do the possible and he puts the "im" on it. We do the possible and I am does the rest. I like saying that way as well. So who do you think you are today? If when you think about your dreams and your goals, and then you think about actually producing them, sure, that's going to scare you a little bit. But when you think about producing them, how does that resonate inside of you? Like, there's no flipping way I can do that. I'm not as good as so-and-so. I'm not as smart. I'm not as talented. I don't have the money. This, that. Stop. It's producing a fear-based mentality, a worry and anxiety in you. And that is going to stop you from producing the results you want, because you're going to live and you're going to react out of that. Okay. So we need to go back to the proverbial drawing board. Is this something I want to do? Is this something I want to be? Is this something I want to accomplish? Yes. Are you willing to do it? Whatever it takes. Yes. Are you able to do it? I don't know how to do it, but I'm able. Yay. Now, your job is not the how. Your job is to renew your mind to it. Your job is to get out the right books to read, to have the right affirmations, to have the right prayer time, to have the right confessions of faith. And you do it and you do it and you do it and do it and do it and do it. Yes, I'm being redundant on the do it. You do it and you do it and you do it and you do it, you do it, you do it. And then you suddenly start to feel on the inside, you feel there's a change happening in you. There's a change happening in you. And that change that's happening on the inside will affect us from the outside. Many years ago, there was a lady guest at our church, a minister, and her name is Sharon. Hi, Sharon, if you're out there. And she was playing the piano keyboard as I was ministering. And I was talking about change. I don't remember a whole lot more of it other than that. But I made the statement that we change from the inside out. And she began to play this song by inspiration. I call it a prophetic song. And she just sang it over all of us. I am changing from the inside out. He is changing me from the inside out. I'm changing into a better version of what I am and who I am. He's changing me. It was a powerful moment, and I've never forgotten it. Never forgotten. And I want to just, I'm not going to sing it over you, but I am going to declare it over you. You are changing from the inside out. He is changing you. Changing you into the next better version of yourself. Now line up with that. Don't walk away from this live and go, well, that was nice. You need to keep filling yourself with this. Keep filling yourself with this. And I would love to help you. I would absolutely love to. So if you would like me to, message me, reach out to me somehow. And we'll get together and make some great discoveries. But understand that just listening to me say it isn't enough. And just listening to yourself say it isn't enough. It is a discovery where you're changed from the inside out, where you begin to put the right food in here and here. And you begin to develop that image of you on the inside that heaven already sees. And you begin to walk in that reality. And you begin to see those actions lead your life. And then you see manifestations of other results. Like I said, it's so simple, but it's not easy because it takes dedication. But you know what? I think we should be dedicated to our lives. I love the statement that says you should play the starring role in your movie. And when someone is cast for a starring role, the star, that's a serious title, isn't it? They don't take that haphazardly. They invest into it. Well, I also think you should be the director and the producer of your own life story, your own movie of you, right? You should be. But you should also continue to educate yourself, because who you are and your importance on this planet for such a time as this is no less important than that of a doctor or a politician. Really, truly, you're here right now on purpose, with a purpose, right? So if we would like our doctors or whoever to have continuing education and keep growing, I think it's important we do too. And here's a way that you can do it. You can begin to develop who you really want to be from the inside out, through books, through teachings, through your prayers, through your faith statements, through your confessions, and make it a daily exercise that you do. Just like maybe running, or maybe like eating or brushing your teeth. Make it part of you and devote yourself to it. And watch what happens. Who do you think you are? Because who you think you are is definitely driving the events that will be manifesting. All right? God bless you. Remember you are the salt and the light everywhere you go. Thank you for hanging out with me for a few minutes. Blessings. Bye.